About the Finance Bill 2025 and exactly what repercussions or benefits, if any, exist in that document. Now, before we went on break, though, we wanted to hear from some of you. Let's hear from Alex first before we go to the rest. I promise you, madam, you will speak directly after. Yes, Alex. Karibu sana.
Okay, thank you very much.
Watu wako wanasemaje, timu yako, kuhusu Finance Bill?
Okay, Finance Bill, kwa mtu wa bodaboda, unajua tuliambiwa hii serikali ni ya mtu wa bodaboda, lakini nikiangalia benefit sasa si watu wa bodaboda tena. Ukiangalia ile report ilitoka juzi ni kwamba bodaboda tumecontribute 660 billion. Lakini ukiangalia maisha ya mtu wa bodaboda na hiyo 660 billion ni kama history tu. Sababu ile maisha anakaa ni mbovu. Alafu ukiangalia kwamba ile vitu Finance Bill imeguzia sasa, ukigusa network, ukuje uguse madawa na uguse mafuta na uguse transaction, tayari mtu wa bodaboda umemfungia biashara. Sababu sasa watu wetu mostly tunatumia digital. Unaenda online, mtu anakurequest. So ukifanya kwenda online ikuwe very expensive, that means hiyo kazi ya mtu wa bodaboda itakuwa ni ngumu. Na unajua the moment kazi ya mtu wa bodaboda inakuwa ngumu, na unaona pale pia walikuwa wamesha kuuza pikipiki, bei ilipanda bei. Ukiangalia ilikuwa karibu 170, sasa iko 200. Na inazidi kukimbia mpaka inaelekea zingine mpaka 230. That means kwamba na spare part bia vile vile. That means maisha au mtu itakuwa ngumu, na the moment maisha ya mtu wa bodaboda inakuwa ngumu, na ndio penye tuko wengi so far, tuko karibu 2.5 million across the country. Inaleta security inakuwa mbovu, sababu kama siwezi pata kitu ya kula ndani at the end of the day, itabidi mtu ajiingize kwa mambo ambayo ni hatari, aidha madawa, kutumia madawa ya kulevya,
ama unyonge ya abiria.
Yes?
Ama unyonge ya abiria.
Of course watanyonga abiria, na unajua hii inakuwa ni hatari. So mimi nilikuwa naomba, sababu serikali ni yetu. Unajua tunajivunia kwa sababu tuliambiwa serikali ni yetu. Ile vitu ambayo ina touch sisi directly, wajaribu kugusia, wajaribu kupunguza, so that pia wakati tunaingia kwa ground tukue pia tuko safe na wao. Yes, kwa wamefavor tu polisi ndio wako safe. Hii by the way ukiangalia Finance Bill, polisi ndio beneficiary. Sisi hakuna mahali tumeangaliwa. Driving license bei ile wametukaza, insurance bei wametukaza. Tutataka pia sisi tufeel kwamba serikali ni yetu. Wakati wa kwa meza, alafu public participation haijatuzisha sisi wenyewe. Walikuwa wanajicollect a few fellows, wanaweka mahali mtu amekochua nini atasema. Because mimi sijaona mahali hiyo kitu imefanyika. Tunataka finance kitu ipelekwe ground, watu ambao kwa ile lugha ambayo anaelewa. Hata kama ni lugha ya mama, so that yule mama ambaye yuko nyumbani ajue kwamba hii mti ambaye amepanda hapa itakuwa inalipiwa ushuru. Unaona? Sio tu kusema watu tukuje Nairobi, public participation nikifika kwa bunge huko hivyo nenda venye nenda. Hata ni kwamba bunge yetu ya 13 parliament imetuanguza sana. Most of the time wamekuwa wakifanya tu venye hao wenyewe wanafikiria, as long as imewafavor wanaipitisha namna hiyo. Ukiangalia mambo juzi ilikuja ile ya kuzungumzia mambo ya NCDF kunyang'anywa, walingangana sana, wakapeleka forms kwa ground, watu kupewa watu chance ya kupitia hiyo public participation, lakini Finance Bill imagine ilikuwa pamoja, lakini hawakuongelea hiyo. Ni kumaanisha kwamba hao wanajipenda wenyewe, kitu yote inawahusu, wana make sure kwamba wameiswil, lakini kitu yenye inahusu sisi kama wananchi hakuna kitu wanaweza taka sisi tuhusishwe, na watataka kitu kutumia hiyo views yetu so that kwenda huko mbele pia sisi tuweze kubenefit. Na tunawaona sana 2027 pia tutawakumbusha tu wenye walikufanyia.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Please pass the mic to the madam at the back. Let's hear from you and then we come to you. Name please and your comment as tightly as possible. We're running short of time.
I'll try.
Please.
My name is Sophie Mogurenjia. I'm an MCA aspirant for Thika Township Ward. Right. I'd like to start by saying legislators cannot oversight this government because they themselves are not a good example. In fact, they enable budgeted corruption in the Finance Bill so that they can benefit themselves. Tell me why, sir, you MPs have already passed 600 million to the KRA to change their system to be able to access our M-Pesa and our bank transactions already. You did that yesterday. In fact, on 2nd June, that is what they were doing in Parliament. Tell me why Kimani Ichung'wah stands in front of us and says that bills are passed that we have already refused to public participation, and they are passed and there is nothing we can do about it. Tell me why Kuzurura Bila Break is going around giving out and dishing out money, yet the radiotherapy machine in Kenyatta National Hospital is not working. Tell me why Kindiki is going around dishing money in Mount Kenya, 50 million plus in a month, yet you are reducing expenditure in essential services like CBC, like school feeding program, like Kutoa Linda Mama. Tell me exactly why these people are in place. And if at all you had very good intentions, sir, you would be the first person to put an impeachment motion to take this government home. That is a challenge to you.
All right, all right. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from the ladies.
Thank you so much. My name is Nyambura Mwangi from Nyandarua County.
Nyambura, are you also holding a syringe injection?
No.
Proceed.
From Nyandarua County, the founder of the Young Liberators. On to your question, Victor, you've asked who stands to gain from this whole thing. Of course, it is the bigwigs, the state officials. Because one, since the inception of the broad-based government, we've seen the recurrent expenditure shoot. Because one, these people come with their staff who have to be paid with our own tax money. Also, we have to fund their travel. And also, what she has said, we've seen in Mount Kenya, they are now coming parading as in economic empowerment forums, in which they are pocketing the biggest amount of money and maybe using a small percentage to maybe kwetu wanatupea maharagwe na mchele yenye hata haivi. So sisi kwanza kama watu wa mlima, I don't think we need that, because all we need is for them to reduce the cost of fertilizer, make it cheap, make the inputs cheap, watutengeneze barabara so that we can be able to travel our output. Okay. Yeah, on to my last message. Personally, I think our president is a sorry not sorry person. Ule mtu anakuja anakuambia sipole basi. Yeah, all right, because all right. 1 minute,
please, we need to keep it please. Going. We're completely out of time.
Yeah, 1 minute, please.
We're completely, I'm afraid we're completely out of time. We need
1 second then, 1 second. 1 second.
You get 10 seconds, please.
Yeah. So, when the Gen Z, the reason as to why I've said that is because when the Gen Zs came out in large numbers and they rejected the finance bill, all he said is that he has agreed to scrap it off. But in real sense, what they did, they went behind our backs and introduced the same bills in the first and the second supplementary budget. So what we are saying as the Young Liberators is tutazidi kutokea kwa barabara. And actually, we have only 2025, 2026, and 2027 until one term is realized.
All right, thank you so much. Let's hear from one other person. Chief, you have the mic, and then, yeah. My director tells me I have a short amount of time. I believe we have a little more than what you're saying. We agreed for a little bit more time. Please, gentlemen, as quick as you can, tight as you can.
Thank you. Kerogo John from Wanjohi Ward. And actually, we are living in a very funny country. A funny country in that, mheshimiwa hapa amesema tungoje time tuwafukuze. We are not waiting for that time because the finance bill yenye imeletwa hapa sahi hata inachekesha sana. Nimesikia mtu wa bodaboda akisema ati polisi ndio wanakuwa favored. In the estimated budget hata wajaekewa ya health covering. So hata hao hayuko favored. So wasitupige huku tukikuja kuwatetea. So let me go direct to the point. This country has not been having a problem of collecting money. That is why even it was passed yesterday in a bill that they want even to access our M-Pesas. Sasa hata M-Pesa yangu unakuja kuangalia nini na hakuna kitu. So the problem has been expenditure. As we speak today, wajeka kwa estimated budget mambo ya TVET and help. Haijawekwa mambo ya police covering and everything. Because what they want is funding za kufund State House ikuwe renovated na 1 billion. Ile kitu kingine wanataka ni kuweka pesa ya Kindiki azunguke akipatia watu Mount Kenya. And remember, the former deputy president was impeached because of coming rounding Mount Kenya. Na yeye sasa is repeating the same. So the idea I'm giving here is we don't have any problem with collecting money. You know even how brutality they have been having when collecting those money. The problem is expenditure. Let them come out clear. Na wasipofanya hivyo, sisi tuko tayari tena. Hatutangoja 2027, tutaingia tena hiyo bunge tena.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, before I come there, we're coming. You are next. Gentlemen, I realize that, unfortunately, in this country, the types of shows that we do is that the subject usually is much bigger than the time that is allocated to it.
That's okay, yeah.
But I would like to go round, and I want to, if you're pushed to a corner and have to say one thing, one contribution to this conversation, what would that be? Let's start with you, Ronald.
One of the things that the government needs to do...
and I'm afraid to ask...
I'll be very brief.
Yes, please.
One is to win people's trust first. Two is to inculcate a system of accountability whereby they publish the usage of natural resources. And three, they should inculcate a system of consequence management where those who defraud people are actually taken to task and they are jailed. Right. That they will be able to win back public trust and they will be able to govern without any challenge.
All right, and we'll be able to save some money, hopefully.
Yes, yeah.
All right, we'll come to you last. Allow me to have you last. I have a good reason. Alex, please.
Yes, what I would say is to commend the scrapping of NGCDF. Currently, the allocation is 58 billion. I don't understand why, because an entire judiciary system is being allocated 26 billion, the parliament itself 42 billion, but NGCDF 58 billion. And let me also say that the agriculture as a ministry is being allocated 72 billion. So this 58 billion is the one that is used by the executive to control the legislature. When they want the legislature to sing a certain song, then they dangle the goodies to them in terms of how much they can be given in terms of NGCDF. If it is scrapped off, and again it is a duplication of a function, because most of this function that the NGCDF is supposed to really facilitate can be done by the national government, or even more so through the county governments.
Right.
So if it is scrapped off, we would see the members of parliament being more sober and being able to do their work the right way. And in doing so, we would get value for money.
All right, fair enough. CPA Bishangi, quick as you can, please.
I would love to hear what Mheshimiwa says about that.
Yeah.
For me...
Actually saying that
for me, I think what I'll say is that we really need to take the independent offices that we have in this country seriously. The reports that come out of the Auditor General's office, the Control of Budgets office, we need to take them seriously. We've seen gaps being highlighted by those two offices, but somehow nothing happens.
Okay. All right.
We cannot spend the kind of resources we spend to equip those offices to just sit with those reports.
Right.
It's about time that we took that seriously and demand accountability. And I agree with the gentleman right there that expenditure is our problem.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Madam, I promised you I'd like to try to be a man of my word. Please, can you, in as short a period as you can, your point?
Okay, my name is Joan. I'm a youth from Uasin Gishu County, the President's area, ward in fact. So, kuna this 2025 bill, yeah. Kuna issue ya diaspora remittance levy. Mimi nimekuwa Uasin Gishu for the whole of my life, yeah. President ametuomba tumempa kura. Nimekuwa jobless toka nimalize form 4. Hiyo vitu yote sijui inaitwaje?
Hizo vitu zote.
Yeah. Ako na makampuni, tunaenda huko sika wasichana, tunaomba hata mjengo. Atupewi, wale watu wako huko ndani wanataka tulale na wao, watupe kazi ya mjengo ama hata ya kuvuna mahindi kwa shamba yake. So this year nimeamua nitafanya nini? Nitatoka niende Gulf nifanye kazi. But sasa napatana na diaspora remittance levy. Tunafaa kuchajiwa pesa tunatumana ikuje nyumbani. See, that's charging our sacrifice, cause nime-sacrifice natoka naenda Gulf. Pesa natumana inakatwa, like every dollar yenye natumana inakatwa. Kwa nini? Na wameni-involve, like wame-consult nani hapo? Wame-consult wa Kenya wenye wako Kenya,
right.
Ama wenye wako uko diaspora waulize kama hiyo kitu iko sawa.
Okay.
That's over taxation. Juu pia hao wenye wako uko Gulf ama any country ya nje wanataksiwa, huku pia tunataksiwa.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, and I think that's a really important point. I'm glad I gave you that chance. Honorable Makali Muli, this is a big moment for you. A lot of the things they were saying are directed towards Parliament. You're on the inside. You're a man of long experience. You're a leader in this country. Can you speak to the youth, speak to the people at home, and speak to the nation?
Yeah,
quick as you can.
Let me speak to our children here. Because you know you are voters, but the same. My children are even older than most of you, but it's okay. I just want to tell you. I think you've raised very important issues, and I plead you listen to me. This country, if you look at the books, it says we are supposed to be on zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting means any activity or item which finds itself into the budget must be justified. You listen, the question you asked, very many questions you raised. If we are serious on zero-based budgeting, you will have all the answers. For your information, all the money being dished out by whoever you mentioned is public money. There's no private money there. So, and that's what I was saying earlier. Can we Kenyans, for the first time, start looking at what goes into our budget? Because if we don't get the right items to our budget, we'll continue complaining. And my position is, before we talk about our offices, can we start with what we call pro-Mwananchi budget? So that the issues you are raising are the first issues to go to the budget, and then the issues of offices can come later. But I also want to encourage you, take time and read. It's also important. You know, when you have information, it helps a lot. For example, impeachment. Somebody said I should have been the first one to impeach. For you to impeach a public officer or a CS, you need not less than 100 signatures. It's actually a third. No, it's not you. It's not you. It's not you.
Okay, let's hear it.
That's what I'm saying. Young people.
Let's hear it.
That's what I'm telling you. Young people. Listen, information I'm giving.
Let's hear him.
Listen.
Let's hear him.
I'm telling you, young people, to impeach a senior government official, a waziri, you don't need public from the electorate. You need from the MPs. Do you understand that? So the thing is, by the only time we managed to get that, and you saw it, is when they were impeaching Gachagua. And you know, even if you know, the thing is, even before you initiate, there is what we call testing the waters. For example, let's take that now. And that's what I'm saying. It was even. Let me tell you. Yes. Yes.
Mulamba,
let's listen to it.
You don't have a mic.
If an MP in this country, in the opposition, makes the effort
There's no mic.
we will only understand if an MP, an opposition MP in this country, makes the effort of initiating the process to impeach the president. We will support where we can. Na akikosa hizo 100 signatures, we will see the goodwill. We will see the goodwill. We've not seen the goodwill.
Okay, guys.
Then the item I wanted to say, which is important.
Just on that point, guys.
No, I've taken note of that.
I think. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, madam. I am sorry. I have to put a hard stop. But I'll say this. This particular topic will be the topic for next week. We will have this conversation here on this show.
Yeah, I would rather we have it. It will be important. We have
last point, Mheshimiwa.
Because I think information is also power.
All right. We'll talk about that. And please come. Mheshimiwa, please, final point.
The last point I wanted to say,
yes.
and I can assure you I'll be here when we're discussing impeachment.
Yeah.
So that you realize the challenges a member of parliament goes through.
All right.
And I promise you I will be seated here that it's not somebody else.
All right.
Now, the other thing I wanted to comment on, and I said I will not comment on it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go and pick Outer General's reports on NCDF in terms of the way the Outer General sees that project. And my point is going to be very simple. If a program is working, I want to talk now like I'm an economist by profession. In this country, there's no other development model which delivers to Mwananchi as NGCDF. In terms of development model, it could be having its challenges, but if you compare the resources going to under the county government in terms of administrative the money goes for administration.
All right.
The money goes for administration and GSDF.
All right.
You realize in terms of development model,
okay,
this is a boss model for this country which we should be having. So if CDF was to die from, as he's saying, can we then adapt the model to be implemented by the county governments and also the national
All right,
government?
all right.
For me, that would be the
Okay, thank you so much. And gentlemen and ladies, I wish to apologize. Clearly, the conversation is bigger than the time. But if you would be able to come back here next week, you will. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 weeks ago, we had a conversation here and we had a similar problem. The topic was bigger than the time. We promised you a part 2 and we did it. Today we have this conversation. We would like to invite you to join us in the next conversation, in the next show. As you can hear from the music in the background, our team is absolutely done. I want to thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your views. And for the people at home, thank you for choosing us to inform you this evening. Good night and God bless you.